Isn't that impressive? This one truly is built for the elements. It's been over-designed. Floor to ceiling windows, brings in tons of natural light. It faces east, so the sun rises on this cabin. Really is impressive. We're here, we're at 3,000 feet, sitting at the base of Mount St. Helens. This property sits perpendicular to Mount Adams. It's an acre and a half of off-grid bliss. I'm gonna show you guys the property approach, and then we'll go into some of the buildings. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's pretty amazing. To the right is this oversized, over-designed lean-to. I'm gonna show it to you after we see the cabin. Straight ahead, the porta potty. Behind me sits a little tool shed and a C-gan. The C-can's perfect for snowmobiles and tool storage. It locks up really well. There in the trees, the well house, and of course, the cabin. This cabin is approximately 1,500 square feet, 2 bed, 1 bath. It has a standard septic system, running water through a community well, and is definitely set up for the elements. Right off the bat, I want to show you guys a few things. Wood siding. Quintessential Pacific Northwest. Definitely designed for the elements. The next big thing, standing seamed roof. Typically, if you have an open seamed roof, each one of the screws on an open seamed roof is a potential leak hazard. With a standing seamed roof, the screws are hidden, which is a higher quality roof. Also, you'll notice there's no gutters. Reason, snow load. Being at 3,000 feet in the heart of the Gifford-Pinchot National Forest, you would have substantial snow load, and you just want that snow to freely run off the side of it. Probably your biggest asset on this cabin is right here. Poured concrete foundation. Most of the cabins in this Four Peaks area are on piers. With piers, you have a lot of issues with insulating, rodents, settling. This is a very deep crawl space. You can actually almost stand up in the crawl space. Looking on and here, oh, look at that. I'll show you this. Let's see if I can get my zoom to work here. Yeah, I did, wow, first time. There is Mount Adams. The cabin sits perpendicular to Mount Adams. Let's back this out. We'll zoom over to the porta potty, then we're gonna take a trip in the cabin. See, I can't say this out loud or YouTube will yell at me, but I'll let you read it. Makes sense when you have a lot of people over. Now, speaking of a lot of people, look at the size of this parking area. Snowmobiles, ATVs, UTVs, snowcats. For being on an acre and a half, they've utilized every square foot of this property. Here's the horseshoe pit. I'm gonna walk to the bottom of the horseshoe pit just to get you guys a really good kind of surrounding. Look at the territorial views here in the distance. The clouds are just perfect today. Also, this time of year in the Pacific Northwest, we're, what are we at here? Coming towards the end of June. Lupins. Just a beautiful flower. The clear cuts are littered with them. I hope you guys can hear the nature. All I hear is birds chirping. Yesterday I was out, came across a few herds of elk. You have a really good black-tailed deer population out here. Some brown bear. We're gonna get to see some of that taxidermy when we go into the cabin. This is a really cool fire pit. Again, look at the space here, guys. You're surrounded with privacy, towering evergreens. All right, fire pit. This is the front deck. Again, they thought it through. Look at how deep this covered veranda is. It's gotta be, Oh boy, about 8 feet, 9 feet. Great area for entertaining, barbecuing, etc. As I mentioned snow load earlier, every cabin needs one of these. Kick off the snowy boots. Sliding glass doors. These are all double vinyl windows. They're all in great condition. Look at this, I mean, outdoor speakers for an off-grid cabin, who knew? All right, the moment of truth. Look at this. This sits at the base of a 40,000-year-old volcanic eruption. The unparalleled connectivity to snowmobiling, trails, hunting, hiking, fishing, etc. is just unreal. To the left, this was almost a state record bare. When it dried, it was just a few inches short. Look at this. Propane lights. Gotta love them. Great backup. All custom wood shelving. This is a custom built chandelier from natural sheds out of the GIF. This place has all the comforts of home. Dishwasher, running water, tons of cabinet space, propane range, microwave, low wattage, right? Propane refrigerator. It's kind of neat how these work. They're a little warm at the back, but it's really quite impressive, and they don't use a lot of propane. And of course, some party pics, good times. This kind of shows you guys though, snowmobiling, hunting, hiking, fishing. This is the base from one of the roads. Okay, back to the main area, then we're gonna see the rest of it. So this is from that hallway as I head back. Look at your view. One thing I want to point out, super handy. Propane wall heaters from Cozy World. These are really, really great. Also, when you're financing these cabins, you gotta be careful. Usually lenders will want 2 heat sources. Main heat source, the wood stove. Secondary heat source, propane wall heater. A lot of people naysayed these a few years ago, but when you come in on a cold day, so say you're working in Vancouver, Washington, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, etc., it takes a while for that wood stove to get things heated up. If you crank on those propane heaters, the cabin gets nice and cozy, turn them off, the wood stove takes over. But even track lighting, I mean, you just don't see this. Check out this loft area up top. And as you can see, again, it was built around entertaining, bringing a lot of people in. There are some surrounding cabins. They do usually a yearly poker run. They do hunting together. A lot of sledding together. From here, you can get right to the crest of Mount St. Helens. It's about 3 miles as the snow flies. So there's just a good community of cabin owners out here, and they really do help each other out. This is fun. Before cell phones, believe it or not, there's cell phone service. They got the CB built right into the wall. And in the day, you would just radio your neighbors. Breaker 19, couple cold sodas for the boys. Breaker 19, couple wobbly pops. Breaker 19, got a few stomach pumpers. Anyways, just some Breaker 19 stuff. Get the guys and gals together. You know, they would do, oh boy, they did a wild game night where you'd come, bring all your wild game. You know, and out here, blacktail cougar, bear, elk, all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, so this is the main area. Let me get back on topic. So from the sliding glass doors, we're gonna go in. We're not gonna go upstairs yet. We're gonna walk through. We're gonna check out the master bedroom. Master bedroom. Pretty large. Again, another thing that a lot of people don't think through. Look at the closet space. Quite a bit of it. It's a huge closet. Everything's wood clad on the interior. Custom wood doors throughout. They also have all these windows open, so you have cross air breezes, which you're gonna want in the summertime. It does get pretty toasty up here. This is also really cool. Check this out. Battery backed up lighting. So this is the main light. There's the battery light. So when the generator's off, that will still run. All on separate switches. So that is a huge upgrade. Substantial bathroom. Gorgeous finishes. Again, battery backed up switch. So in the middle of the night, you don't have to turn on the generator to get light. Another propane heater. This is a custom shower. It's really hard to find people to actually etch these nowadays. Anyways, toilet. And of course, more storage. Again, hard to find. I've sold a lot of these off-grid cabins. Storage is one of the biggest issues people have. All right, let's keep moving forward. To the right, substantial laundry space. Washer and dryer, and it's uber efficient. And they're quite expensive actually, but they can wash and dry clothes pretty quick. Instant Bosch hot water heater. This thing's been totally designed for winterization, so you can turn off all of the plumbing within the walls before you leave, and it naturally drains out the back of the cabin. Here's your circuit breaker, all nicely labeled. And again, more storage. So I just want to show you here out the back, and then we're going to go upstairs. It's quiet, it's calm. I actually have the door to the generator room open, but if that door was closed, it's pretty quiet out here with that generator running. More wood storage, and then just a cozy place to hang out. Again, they thought it through. All right, guys, we're going upstairs next. Oh, there's also some pantry space here where the laundry room is. More pantry space. All the closets have been cedar lined for moths. More space. This is a great wood stove. This is a Woodland. These are pretty common out here in Southwest Washington. This one's a little bit old school. Dampers are at the front. Okay, just turn those to let in more air. Now I want to show you here. Oh, here we go. Pull up, Jared. This sucker is stacked. This thing can hold a lot of wood and really gets the cabin nice and toasty. It'll chase you out of here. This works exactly like the one in my shop, actually. It'll chase you out of here. But this is substantial. I mean, look at how deep this is. This is almost, oh boy, 32 inches deep is probably the longest log. And then it has this cover to go over the front. So if you want to have a natural fire in the front, you can still do that just for ambiance. You can see they have a gorgeous slate floor where the wood stove is. It's backed by stone. Now, a few things. This is off-grid beauty stuff right here. Look at all these racks, guys. So all of these racks are for hanging items like snowmobile suits, hunting gear, hats, mitts, etc. And they're all sitting behind that wood stove area. That's to get things dried out over time. Again, you just don't see this off grid. It's pretty special. Let's go up here. So this is kind of a top loft area. And when I go up here, again, more drying area. I really want to show you this view from up here. This gives you a great idea of the layout. Like I said, 2 beds, 1 bath, little over 1,500 square feet, vaulted ceilings, floor to ceiling windows for natural light. Oh, you're gonna love this. So from this window, you have a clear view of Mount Adams. You can't see it with my exposure, but with my bare eyes, you can see it quite well, and boy, is it a sight to see. Okay, to the upper room. This is a queen size bed. Okay. Now look at this. 2 more single beds. So you can sleep quite a few people in this cabin. More storage space. Okay. This is the view from the corner. Really showcasing pot lights, guys. And it really is a well-built property. And I know I might sound a little biased because I'm the listing agent, but I've walked through a lot of these cabins and you just don't see this type of build quality anywhere. So all right, we're gonna go check out some outbuildings. So this is now going downstairs. All right, I'm gonna exit now so you guys can get a really good visualization of how this all is laid out. By the way, if you were wondering, you open your bottle here. All right, who wants to go see some outbuildings? I showed you the horseshoe pit. I kind of showed you the property layout, the undulation, a lot of flat land. Boy, you know, just to show you guys what we're dealing with here, this is amazing. So look at this. Just if you're not from the Pacific Northwest and you're watching this, this is how big the trees were at one time. That is, boy, 6 feet at the base. Here's a view of the stump that it came from. Yeah. It's pretty impressive. Look at that. That's probably a 400 or 500 year old Doug fir. Would have been logged, oh, probably about 50 years ago. This is from the right side of the cabin. Again, just gives you a good layout of how things are plotted on here. All right, here we go, generator house. Quite substantial. It is pretty darn quiet. This is on an idle mode right now, so it's only using what you want it to use. Of course, there's lighting. There's a backup battery light in here. There's also an exhaust fan. This is a Honda 6500. It's a really well-built generator. And here's your backup battery system, guys. Great setup. All right, now listen. Nothing. So it is quite quiet. You can't hear the generator most of the time. Okay, who wants to go see the sea can? I got the keys in my pocket. This is great for storing things like chainsaws, wood splitters, snowmobiles, ATVs. You know, safety's pretty darn good around here, but it's not a bad idea to have things locked up. These sea cans have really clever locking systems. Hopefully you can see that. Yep. And I don't know if I even need to go inside, only because I don't feel like unlocking it, but it does have a substantial sea can. It's about a 16 or 20 footer. This is a tool shed. Pretty substantial. I can't remember if I showed you guys the lean-to over here, but this could easily be closed up into a shop. It's built on 6x6s. It's, I think I measured it out, maybe 18 by 12. But look at this. I mean, it is really well built. Gravel pad. And then it's got a meat pole for dressing all your big game. Let's look at the meat pole in the hoist. Power and everything ready to go. 1.5 acre off-grid bliss. Elevation 3,000 feet. 3 miles as the crow flies to the Plains of Abraham and the crest of Mount St. Helens. About 14 miles to Cougar, Washington, where you have Cougar General Store, Cougar Bar and Grill, and the post office. A little further down the road, about 45 minutes from here, is Amboy, Washington, Yakult, Washington. You have Nick's Tavern in Amboy, great place to wash down wobbly pops, and actually has a pretty good grocery store. 30 minutes further, you have Battleground, Washington. You're only, oh boy, I don't know, about an hour and a bit, about an hour and a half to Vancouver, Washington, a little more than that to Portland, Oregon. This is God's country, guys. We sell really unique properties, and we like to sell the story and the lifestyle of properties. If you're thinking about buying off-grid properties, or if you have a lifestyle property to sell, let us know. My personal phone number, and I personally will show you these properties, is 360-612-2079. My name's Jared Ritz, and I can't wait to go on this adventure with you. Cheers.